What's goody to any and everybody who may be listening? Okay, let's get into Shaquan Cotton. It's time to get into old Shaquan Cotton with them pink and black lips, the mixture looking like Daryl Hatter with them pink and black lips and a pit bull bitch. I'm finna dissect you, Miss Quan, girl. Now you tried it on more than one occasion. So let's go ahead and open this book and read it, bitch. Now I met Quan. This is again Cinnamon Ridge. We are on Cinnamon Ridge, and I might even do a next, just do Cinnamon Ridge as a whole next. But we are on the neighborhood of Cinnamon Ridge. Okay. Now I met Quan. I met Shaquan Cotton, or we all met Shaquan Cotton through her daughter, Nautica. Nana, or whatever the case may be. She's named her daughter Nana, Nana, which was short for Nautica. I would see the little girl. She was a cute little baby, about maybe 1 or 2, with her eyes, real big eyes and things, and she was drawn to me. She gravitated to me at that time. I gotta go ahead and call my light starts back from her, from Nautica, who is now fully grown, okay, and definitely take after her mammy in every way. I decree and declare that any and all of my energy, light sparks, and soul fragments that were caught up in Nana at the time of her being a little baby like that, and even growing up at any time, are released, removed, freed, and brought on back home to the mother, the father, and the child. Now, not too long after I started to see Nana in just like the building in the hallway, and the little girl was always, she did something, she used to point or something when I would see her, or speak in ways, she used to always be excited to see me now. Eventually, I met her mammy, Quan, but I was at first seeing Judy. Judy is Quan's mammy. Oh my God, like that bloodline, whatever's going on in that bloodline, or even just Judy, I feel like it's the whole bloodline. There's something going on within that bloodline that needs to be looked at. Matter of fact, these are Draco, so it's not like they can really help, because they don't know how to heal. They can't heal. Okay, I decree and declare that any and all of my energy, like sparks and soul fragments that were lost and caught up within Judy with her mean tail, because that bitch was mean, are released, removed, freed, and brought on back home to the mother, the father, and the child. Okay, so it wasn't too long after that Sharita and Quan became cool, in cahoots, and Quan got to calling Sharita her mammy or her mama and things of this nature, and Quan and I became, I guess you could say quasi sister and brother and things of this nature. Okay, now Quan was a kiki and a cackle. She could make you laugh. She was funny. Now those are just the good things about her. I'm gonna say some of the good things about her and call my light sparks back from even that bitch. I decree and declare that any and all of my energy, light sparks, and soul fragments that are still caught up within any of the good times between myself and Quan are released. I'm talking about Shaquan Cotton. Are released, removed, freed, and brought on back home to the mother, the father, and the child, which is none other than myself, the one talking to you. Now, okay? Now, what else? What else about Quan? Okay, so as this relationship progresses, I'm starting to see Quan very differently. You know, it don't take me long at all to tune into you. It don't take me but really a few minutes to get into you and see what I need to see. And I already know what I know about you, but I'll let you keep talking, or I'll let you keep doing what you think you're doing. Okay, but you don't be doing it really because I know what you're doing already. So it won't too long before I started to notice that she was a liar. A pathological liar. We would all be sitting around downstairs at Judy house while she would be telling these stories from high school and things of this nature. Lying, you don't know what's true and what's a lie about her. Okay? Now I gotta go ahead and call my light sparks back from those experiences when we were downstairs sitting in Judy house, and she would be telling them damn stories, them lies. I decree and declare that any and all of my energy, light sparks, and soul fragments that got caught up and lost within the midst of Shaquan Cotton, sitting down her mammy house telling all them damn lies about high school and this, that, and the third, are released, removed, freed, and brought on back home to the mother, the father, and the child. Okay? Now, I don't know if this was the prerequisite to myself acquiring these different viruses, such as the herpes virus. Quan was always down there writhing and writhing in pain. One thing about it, at least she was truthful about it. She told Sharita about it. Let me tell you, Sharita can't keep nothing to herself. Because as soon as Quan told her about it, she came and told me, and everybody knew Quan had herpes. I decree and declare that any and all of my energy, light sparks, and soul fragments that got caught up within the midst of them herpes outbreaks that Quan used to have, and sitting around writhing and writhing in pain, are released, removed, freed, and brought on back home to the mother, the father, and the child. Okay? Now, what's next about Quan? Now, let's get into this relationship. She had a relationship with a man by the name of Jay. Now, she had met this man on the chat line. You know them chat lines, them phone chat lines. She met Jay up on the chat line. I don't know what it was about Jay, but we got to call our light sparks back from that, because I was around him a lot. Could I have had a little crush on Jay? I don't know. He could have been a little cute. I don't know if I had a crush on him. Maybe I did. So if I did, I didn't. Let's go ahead and call our light sparks back just from that experience, having to watch them, having to be with them. Okay. I decree and declare that any and all of my energy, light sparks, and soul fragments that got caught up and lost within Quan and any of the men, because it was a million or a trillion that she messed with over the years. For a pack of Newports and things of this nature are released, removed, freed, and brought on back home to the mother, the father, and the child. Okay? Now let's get into the pills. Because, okay, this is around the time we had moved to the trailer park. You know, Quan was coming to stay with us off and on. There was always some sort of beef between Sharita and Quan. Now, Sharita knew that I could not stand drama and I could not stand commotion and things of this nature. I'm sensitive to energy. This pulled on my empathic abilities. When they would be up in there, this was energy harvesting. When they would be up in there arguing and fussing. And I might have even sort of felt bad for Quan, because Sharita was relentless. I decree and declare that any and all of my energy, like sparks and soul fragments that were caught up in the midst of Quan and Sharita and that drama that they stayed in, are released, removed, freed, and brought on back home to the mother, the father, and the child. Okay? Now, this would happen all the time. Like, I decree and declare any and all of my energy, light sparks, and soul fragments caught up within any type of sympathy or pity that I might have had for Quan on the receiving end of Sharita cussing that ass out, are released, removed, freed, and brought on back home to the mother, the father, and the child. Now let's talk about what's next. Okay, here we go with the pills. We done moved on down to the trailer park in Ghana. This is when the pills start, because I wasn't on pills before. This is when the pills start. Where Sharita gave me that first pill, and then I had spent about the next 20 years chasing that first high with them pills and things of this nature. Now Quan was already on them pills too. This was back in the day when they had the Darvocets and things. They don't sell Darvocet now. Let's go ahead and call our life sparks back from them Darvocet. I decree and declare that any and all of my energy, light sparks and soul fragments that got caught up in that manufacturer, that drug manufacturer, Darvocet, are released, removed, freed, and brought on back home to the mother, the father, and the child. Let's talk about Dr. Deltnum, because we had all went to Dr. Deltnum for some reason. Now we had all went in there and got our own prescription. We had like 90 pills apiece, child, up in there popping them pills, all willy-nilly. Then we had Darvocet, we had Vicodin, we had Percocet, bitch. We was set. Did you hear me? I gotta call my energy and light sparks back from even Dr. Deltnum, the Deltnum Clinic, all of them. I decree and declare that any and all of my energy, light sparks, soul fragments caught up within the Deltnum Clinic at any time. Marjorie Deltnum, Marie Deltnum, George Deltnum, any of the patients, and all them prescriptions that they was writing and giving them drugs out like candy. It all released, removed, freed, and brought on back home to the mother, the father, and the child. Me. Okay? Now, I gotta get to Quan. It's something about Quan that started to rub on me. I felt weird around her. I felt very strange around Shaquan Cotton. I began to feel very strange around Shaquan Cotton. Like I could feel her looking at me. There was something about the way she would look at me. There was something about the way that I felt just in her presence with her and these tentacles that she had. Now this bitch, she was strong. She was one of the strongest energy vampires I ever came across, baby. She was one of the strongest ones. She elicited the biggest reaction out of me. I felt disgusted and disgusting around her. It got to that point. She was sticking them damn tentacles into me and sucking me down. Looking back, that's what she was doing. That's what I realized she was doing. And then I could not. I didn't know what that feeling was when she would be around me. But it's very clear. Now let's go ahead and call my energy back from that. I light sparks and I soul fragments. I decree and declare that any and all of my energy, light sparks, and soul fragments that were lost, or that got caught up in the midst of Quan sticking them nasty tentacles. Now she was the nastiest by far. Sticking them tentacles into me and sucking my sparks out and filling me up with them that nasty Draco shit, that reptilian DNA. Released, removed, freed, and brought them back home to the mother, the father, and the child. Now we gotta take it back a little bit. We gonna go on back to Cinnamon Ridge for a second when her and Nicole done got up in that fight. You know, Quan talked all this motherfucking shit. She talked cold cash shit. She was talking cold cash shit and things of this nature. Like she had the hands like that. And her and Nicole done wound up getting into a fight. I'm talking about Nicole McNeil, which I'm gonna be calling my life sparks back from her too. Okay, I'm gonna be getting into her later. But her and Quan got the fighting up there in that parking lot, and Quan then drove off in Sharita car in a bit of a rage. I gotta call my light sparks back from that. I decree and declare that any and all of my energy, light sparks, and soul fragments that were lost or got caught up and stolen within the midst of that fight between Shaquan Cotton and Nicole McNeil up there in that parking lot are released, removed, freed, and brought on back home to the mother, the father, and the child. Okay. Now, I decree and declare that any and all of my energy, like sparks and soul fragments that got caught up, lost within the midst of seeing Shaquan Cotton get that ass beat by Nicole McNeil, when I just knew for sure that Shaquan Cotton was gonna whoop her, but she didn't. Released, removed, freed, and brought on back home to the mother, the father, and the child. Now, I could not believe it. Now, I gotta tell you about Quan as a mother. Now, this bitch called herself a mother, but what I will say much to her credit is that I believe that she got her mothering skills from Judy. That's just what I'm gonna say, because Judy didn't love her. Judy treated her any type of way. Didn't want her, acted like things of this nature. And Quan sort of did the same thing to Nautica and things of this nature. Okay? So, she had the nerve. And let's talk about Josh. Because now, Josh done came out, there was some questions about Josh, whether Josh would be this, that, and the third. But Josh was a little baby. There's no way in the world that nobody could have known that he was going to be gay or femme, because he was a little baby at the time. This little boy was just being abused. This little boy was being groomed and things of this nature, just like these Draco women do to their children. They groom them and have them just so that the system can harvest the energy off them. That's what I felt like what happened to Josh. Josh had this stuff on his face, this acne, which I feel like, why do a baby have acne? You know what I'm saying? I gotta call my energy and light sparks for that, because I did not like seeing Josh being treated in that way, and Nana being handled in the way she was handled by Quan. I decree and declare that any and all of my energy, light sparks, and soul fragments that got caught up and lost within the midst of witnessing these individuals treat Josh and Nana, her man, Shaquan Cotton, raising them the way that they raising them, having this boy, I don't know what they tried to instill in him. They tried to instill gay within him or something like that. Is what I'm feeling like they tried to instill the gay within him before he could even grow up. That boy wasn't nothing but, 1 or 2 or something like that. That ain't something that you know until the child gets much older. All released, removed, freed, and brought on back home to the mother, the father, and the child. Okay? Excuse me. So now let's go ahead. This is the last thing. This is the final thing right here. Now, it had been much later. A lot of time had passed by. Okay, we were living in another neighborhood off of Capitol, Hargrove, and things of this nature. And I cannot believe that Quan had the nerve to come up into the house and say what she said to me when she did. Like I said, these bitches be sitting around having conversations, having pity parties, and needing sympathy and shit. And things of this nature, that I cussed that bitch out. Okay? Now, I forgot what she said, like something about Sharita. I needed to be doing something with Sharita, helping Sharita out, something like that. Bitch, first of all, with these heavy money blockages and things of this nature, all of that dark magic, how dare that bitch say anything to me? Okay? So she said something to me, bitch. She don't know she didn't know my circumstances. I cussed that bitch, slammed out in the front of her churn. And it was Josh was in there and Nana was in there, and I had that bitch crying. Cause she shouldn't have said shit to me. Now I cussed her out. I struck from the ruler to the tutor. Now I gotta call my energy and my life sparks back from that. I decree and declare that any and all of my energy, light sparks, and soul fragments that got caught up and lost within the midst of that severe cussing out that I gave her when she came over there and had the nerve to insert herself into some shit that she ain't had no business inserting herself into. Released, removed, freed, and brought on back home to the mother, the father, and the child. Now, that's just this one last thing that I gotta talk about before I go. Let's talk about Facebook. Let's take it back to Facebook. Even though I have not had a Facebook in a couple of years now, but maybe 3-4 years, I ain't had no Facebook. But baby, now when I had first got to LA, you know, Quan was communicating with me as if she was gonna come and, you know, we was gonna get up and things of this nature. She got the driving trucks and shit, baby. And was like she was gonna come and you know we was gonna hang out and shit, which I did not. I didn't hold my breath because I really didn't give a fuck about it. Okay, but it was just that aspect of Quan, just seeing her on Facebook. She needed a lot of attention. She needed a lot of validation. She stayed with a million men. The men didn't want her or like her. She was easy. She needed to do some heavy work on it. It's a lot going on in that body. A lot of trauma. I got tired of seeing her. That work, she worked my nerves. I decree and declare that any and all of my energy, light sparks, and soul fragments that got caught up within the midst of seeing Quan on the internet when she was baby a subject. The bitch is doing dark magic on the and everything, girl. I'm telling you, warfare surrounding her, drama surrounding her, having to see her post that all day, every day, like bitch. Ooh, are released, removed, freed, and brought on back home to the mother, the father, and the child. Yeah, these motherfucking Draco women, just the Dracos in general, the whole society, they need validation, they need that backing, they need attention, they can't be alone, they don't heal. All they know is drama. Okay? I decree and declare that any and all of my energy, light sparks, and soul fragments caught up with any of these motherfucking Dracos are released, removed, freed, and brought on back home to the mother, the father, and the child. Me. Thank you. Bye-bye.